I hear the puppies in the background.
I would share it, but I don't know how.
That's okay, Carrie. We'll share it
And I'll
out for
probably
you.
end up losing you.
Don't worry about it. I'm sharing it out. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Tonight is a tribute to all veterans out there. We have actually 5 of us. We're all veterans on the show tonight, and we're going to talk about how the military has shaped us into paranormal folks and all that. So I just want to say thank you to all the veterans out there, and especially you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you very much. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank
you.
All right. Why don't we start by telling me who you guys all are, what team you're on, and what branch of service you were in. So, Scotty, let's start with you.
All righty. My name is Scott, and I was in the United States Army from 1998 to 2006. I am with Things Universal. I'm also with Things Network, and I am co-founder and co-host of the 13th Dimension podcast.
Okay. And Tim?
Okay. I'm a team member of Scott's with Things Universal. I live in Huntington, Indiana. I was in the Navy from 1995 till 1998, officially. I'm also on the 13th Dimension podcast as well, and a member of Team Things out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So
very cool. All right, and Casey.
Hey, my name is Casey Boatwright. I did almost 10 years in the United States Army as a forward observer. Deployed to Iraq in 2009, 2010, went to Germany in 2014. Got out in 2016 and started Gateway Paranormal Society with Matt Fioli, and then Project Mass Media with all the boys, Warner, Steve, Wyatt, and Fioli there too.
You guys do a wonderful job at that. I saw a little documentary when we were at MadCon, so props to you guys.
I appreciate it.
Oops, I better turn down my volume. All right, and Carrie, you want to talk about yourself for a moment?
I'm Carrie Buckheimer. I was in the Army myself. Grew up Air Force brat, though, and joined the Army despite my father. I was not happy. I'm on 5 different paranormal teams. I'm the psychic medium, so I like to help a lot of people, and that's about it.
All righty. And, of course, I was in the Army myself. I was a Army Reserve. Went right out of high school, so 95 to 2003. And I was a combat medic. Thankfully, at that time, I didn't have to go to war or anything. So, but my doorbell?
It's one of my clocks. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm like, wait a minute. So I was in the Army, and now my oldest child has followed in my footsteps, and he is in the Army as well. So, and I get to see him in a couple. That's 10 days before he goes to Germany. So, but anyways, all right. So, who wants to start off by telling me a little bit about how the Army, or the military, I should say, because Tim's the only non-Army folk here. So apologize, Tim, if I keep saying Army.
You're all right. You're right.
How the military has shaped you into the person you are today, and as a paranormal investigator. I know that's a tough question right there.
No. I think it has made me pay attention to more detail, especially when it comes to like debunking things. For me, I became more observant. So, and that really helped me out, because when I was younger, when I went in the military, I was 24 years old. So I was considered an old man, But I was still in that young man's mentality of being rude and disrespectful, and you didn't want really care what's going on with you. But going down to Fort Benning, Georgia, doing basic training down there, man, it shaped me up, man, real good, like I needed to be. But you learn to be to pay attention to detail of all your surroundings, and I think that helped out, especially with the evidence in this field. So,
And I think I agree with you, because I always tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm an observer. Like, I know a lot more than I lead on. I will see those little things in the background that you don't think I notice. And I really do think you're right. I think it's from when I was in the military, I pay
I think
attention
also
to the small things.
I think also like the self-discipline,
Mm-hmm.
being disciplined enough to do this, to do the things we need to do, and be serious when we need to be serious, and focus on the job, get a job done.
Right. What about you, Carrie or Casey?
What?
How do you feel the military has shaped you into being a paranormal investigator?
I don't think it did anything other than what I agree with. I think it was Scott that was saying, you kind of learn to stand your ground, whether you're afraid or not. So you're not running at the first sign of something. So I think it helped with that, because you had to stand your ground in the military. You
Right.
couldn't run. So
Right.
you don't run in paranormal, even though you want to. I think it helps with that, because, like you said, self-control. You learn self-control.
Right.
I went to Scotty up there. I went to Fort Benning, and that place will make or break you
Oh
with the
yeah.
quickness. So I mean, really,
Benning? Wow, that's infantry, right?
well, I mean, they do home with infantry there, but they also do like other combat arms jobs
Oh.
on the other side away from Charlie Company. But I think that really just my attention to detail. That's about the only thing it's done for me, paranormal wise and filming wise and editing wise. I mean, attention to detail is 100% what you need to make what we do, and just
Hey, come on! It taught all you army people how to hold a flashlight, right?
my flashlight was on a gun.
Oh, that's right. I just want to say hi to Amanda Lewis. She said hi. Hi,
What up, Amanda?
Here.
Glad you could join
Hi,
us, dude.
Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
And
Amanda's
Brian.
a part of our little goon squad, and we do like 4 trips a year. Like Amanda and Scott and
Right,
Matt Warner, Scott, all those guys. We all go out to a bucket list spot and just get an Airbnb, get real wild the night before, and then spend the next night investigating. So,
Oh yeah,
what's
I
up,
heard
Amanda?
the Gateway Boys from Amanda. I was on her team, her old team, Scar.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I met
and
Scott
it was
and
all
Amanda
good
at
things. It was
DevCon.
all good things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good people, man.
Yes.
Love her and Scott, man. They are such great people.
Okay, so yeah,
Scott Harvey's another veteran.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I've got some good
Another
stories.
army. Yep.
I've got some good stories about Scott and the night before he went to Waverly Hills. So,
Now, did any of
Like a
you
trip
guys
here.
do like a tour, like overseas or anything?
yeah, I did in 2009.
So, like, did you start like doing paranormal stuff after you came back out of the military, or did you indulge a little bit in your earlier youth?
I mean, obviously, like as a young kid, we all like messed with Ouija boards and did weird stuff like that, and went to abandoned places. But really, I mean, I watched a lot of the shows while I was overseas and stuff like that. But whenever I didn't start the team. Matt and I didn't start the team till 2017, I think, and I got out in 2016. So yeah, about a year after I got out.
And what made you decide to like go into the paranormal?
I'll be honest, man, we were bored. Like we just wanted to go out and do something and explore. And it kind of started out like exploring, but then it turned into investigating, and now it's turned into filmmaking about the places we investigate. So it's been like
I know, and you guys
fun
do
trip.
awesome work. You definitely
it's
do
real
awesome
expensive,
work. Oh, yes, the paranormal field is definitely expensive. No matter what
Yeah.
what time, what how long you've been in it. You could be like 6 months into it or 30 years into it, and it still like takes your life savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fioli and I just upgraded cameras. That was a pretty penny right there.
And
So,
you guys take great pictures too.
Where was the most haunted places you guys have been to that you felt was the most haunted?
Scotty, run it, dude.
For me, dude, I would have to say so far my favorite place where I've had an experience was Waverly Hills for me. I'm a skeptic believer. Like, I'm skeptic, but I have to see or hear it, whether it's EVP or whatever, to believe. And I've never had been attacked or anything before until I went to Waverly Hills. So yeah, for me, definitely Waverly Hills is my top one right now.
Waverly Hills was a cool place. I'm glad I got to investigate it when we did.
Yeah, because you guys tried to scare me and it didn't work.
I'll tell you what, we were I took my team, our last investigation was November 5th, so this past Friday, and it was pretty cool because we went to Old Licking County Jail in Ohio, and Jeff came and investigated with us, and that man, I think he walks like on air or something, because I was actually doing a live, which I never do. I never go live. And he scared the bejesus. The only time I screamed, I don't scream like when a ghost comes up in my face or anything. No, I scream when Mr. Frank comes up the stairs and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah, we all screamed because we were just into what we were doing. Yep, that was fun.
I think for me it would have to be probably Lake County Jail. I had a lot of experience there, the old Lake County Jail. Getting my shirt tugged. I've had a hat very similar to this one get pulled straight up off the top of my head.
Oh,
Nothing around to grab it. I mean, I had 3 foot of headroom without anything. So, and Jeremy York actually witnessed the hat getting pulled off my head. So,
Oh, wow.
And Tim's not a short guy either. Tim's about 6'1", 6'2". So
I'm 6'3" actually, but yeah.
My bad. God, that must suck.
But yeah.
How tall are you, Scotty?
I know.
I know too.
Is this like an inside joke? Because I don't get it.
I'm
He's like 5'1".
I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1". So.
Are you?
Oh,
Are you
wait.
kidding?
So Mateo
You're not kidding?
No, he's
I'm
not.
5'1", and I was
wow.
everybody's favorite in the Army because if you dug a foxhole, 4 scoops of dirt, and we were good to go.
Hey, Scotty, I just took Mateo to a doctor's appointment. Guess how tall he is?
5'3".
He's 5'1".
Yeah, everybody comments when Scott and I stand next to each other because there's over a foot of height difference between us. So,
Wow.
Well, Amanda said Scotty is a small man with a large heart. I couldn't agree more with you there.
absolutely.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
I just like picking on him and picking him up.
Yeah,
Frank.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Frank.
And he likes humping your legs, so it makes it
Yeah.
Fair game, fair play, turnabout's fair play. That's the saying.
That absolutely. Just let it happen, bro. Just let it happen.
Yep. But you know what? I mean, being short in the Army does bring you advantages,
Being tall in the
Sometimes.
Navy has a lot of disadvantages.
Well, yeah.
It depends on your field. Like I started out. I was in the mortar platoon. Okay, I did 81s, and we didn't truck everywhere. Okay, people. Yeah, I was not in a truck the whole time. There's a couple times we did practice air insertion, and especially when you become a squad leader like I was, you got to hump either the base plate or the 2 plus You're humping rounds, bore sight, your normal sight, and people don't realize it, but even back then, at 5'1", and I'm a little tiny guy, okay? I don't weigh a whole lot, and I won't tell you what because it ain't none of y'all's business. But even at I think the heaviest my ruck with all my equipment at one time weighed like 145 pounds, and this is no joke. And I had to hump that, you know. We were practicing insertion, and we were going in on a Black Hawk helicopter. And this is great because you guys are going to love this. So we're going to this Black Hawk, and I have all this gear on, and I'm humping towards it. Well, those propellers have a lot of down thrust wind. So yeah, this 109-pound corporal fell straight on his back from the down thrust wind, and I looked like a turtle trying to get up off his back. I couldn't get up. So two of my buddies run over and grabbed me and picked me up and helped me get on the Black Hawk, dude. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is my experience. I look like a turtle trying to get up with all this gear. So,
Well, I was a
so
dive
much.
welder. I was an underwater welder. But prior to that, I was a nuke tech. Let me tell you, that's a fun job.
Hey, were
But,
you ever on the USS Enterprise? Or
No, I
Ranger?
was on the Kennedy.
Oh, because our senior class, I lived in the Philippines. We got to go to the USS Enterprise for the day. That's pretty cool.
I've been to the Philippines.
I do not know how you guys could stay in one. No.
My
But
my
I had to
ex-husband
go.
was on the Independence.
We were in Tokyo. I had to spend 2 weeks on a submarine,
Oh Lord, no way.
and I'm 6'3".
Oh,
I'm 6
no.
foot 3, and the beds and the doorways are like 5'8". I'm a pretty broad-shouldered guy. I'm a pretty big built guy, and I'm like trying to squeeze through the hallways and turning sideways to get through places, and it's tight.
with a bunch of other men.
So I guess you were at Subic Bay, right? Tim,
What's that?
were you in Subic Bay?
I can't. I didn't hear what you said.
The Philippines. Did you go to Subic Bay?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Tim, I could go so wrong on that one, so wrong, but I won't because this is a family show.
Hey, you can't say anything I haven't heard.
I know, but it's a family show.
You can't say anything that I haven't gotten into a bar fight full of Marines about.
I know. I wish we had an airman and a Marine on here. That'd be cool. Have all the branches.
Don't forget the Coast Guard.
Yeah, them too.
Everybody rips on the Coast Guard, and I'm like, you know what? If you look it up, if you Google it, what is the most dangerous job in the military? It's the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do
Because
it.
they have to take on all those drug runners coming up from Mexico.
Well, isn't there a new branch now?
Space Force.
Yeah, that one.
Space
What do you all think of that?
I think that shit's dope.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I'm down. If they'll take me, dude, I would do it. Yeah, I go fight me some aliens. I'm cool.
Scotty, I don't think you and I fit the bill for age requirement for reenlistment.
There's a waiver.
I definitely
I don't
would
doubt
go.
that.
There's a waiver for everything.
Yeah, I don't doubt that a bit.
That'd be cool though. I don't know if I can handle like the jet force going up in the sky though. I don't know. I got a weak stomach when it comes to moving fast.
I guess my only thing was I would be pissed. Like they give me a rifle, I'll be like, okay, I want to be a Jedi, not a stormtrooper. So, because I ain't hitting shit with this. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, it sounds cool, but I don't know. I don't know. But what do you he's like, I don't know. So what are some paranormal experiences you guys had that kind of like were your worst experience ever? I don't think anybody ever asked that.
I was going to say, too, there were always, being in the Navy on all these old ships, there's always rumors. It doesn't matter what ship you're on, that the ship is haunted somewhere in the ship. Every ship I've ever seen, there's always a rumor that the ship is haunted.
So did you feel or see anything while you were on a ship?
No. No, I didn't really believe in any of that stuff at that time.
What about you?
I mean, there's over 5,000 people on the Kennedy, so walking around the ship, there's enough stuff to have to worry about without worrying about that right at that moment.
Buddy?
Did you freeze, Holly?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's moving.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Sorry. Kick Mateo off the internet.
I have shitty internet service. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
I do
everybody.
Too.
It's stupid.
That's just like being on our
Hi,
podcast.
Steve. Steve Bratton. Woohoo. And Carrie's actually, her husband was on the Big E station in Virginia, and her son just came home. He's a soldier too now. So
that's my sister right there. I love that girl to death.
So
yeah, Carrie's good people. Her and Ron, great people, man.
Yeah.
They need to come down for another investigation.
Where did they live? Virginia?
No,
they live just south of Indianapolis.
Edinburgh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're out. She's right there where Camp Atterbury is, I do believe.
So what has been your worst paranormal experience ever? How about you, Casey? Do you ever have a worst experience?
Yeah, I watched. Let me preface this by saying, we do a lot of stupid shit. We don't do any kind of protection or anything like that. We mess with stuff probably shouldn't mess with, but
I can't hear you guys anymore.
I can hear you.
I can't hear them.
No.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear everybody.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
So we went to Hell's Bar Dam, and then we have some black mirrors that we've gotten charged up and done, and we have ours. Amanda's comment. We have our mirror, and then we also had our buddy. A lot of people might remember him, but Alex Bob. He was a part of the Mad Crew for. There's that comment.
You might have to explain that one there, Casey.
I will. So anyway, we did some stupid stuff. We did a seance in the tunnels at Hell's Bar Dam, and Matt Fioli ended up getting. I'm not gonna say possessed, but he got taken over pretty bad. His hands were contorting, and his arms were starting to contort, and he was threatening to kill all of us. And I mean, hell, we've been friends since 6th grade year, and so we dealt with that for a long time. Honestly, probably 6 months of Fioli going through pretty much living hell, thinking about suicide and hurting people that he shouldn't and stuff like that. So that was definitely the worst paranormal time, but that's what we do it for. We don't do it to not put yourself in shitty situations. I mean, anybody can go into a building with a temperature gun or whatever and do that, but if you're not pushing the boundaries, what's the point? You gotta up the step, because eventually the spirits are gonna get bored, or they just don't want to communicate. So sometimes you have to bring it out.
Okay, so let me.
Are you saying you provoke?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Not so much provoke, but just use tools that are, I guess, kind of looked down upon, like a Ouija board, scrying mirrors, stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, because that was my next question. Because I know I've watched Matt Warner, and I think it was at the during your video at the MadCon, you guys were showing, and he was laying on the bed, and he was kind of getting loud, if you were to say, if that's the good one with the spirits. And I was like, but it wasn't really provoking. It was just kind of getting them a little on edge, you know. And I was like,
Yeah, he likes to egg it on. I mean, Warner is kind of like a different breed of person because
we love him.
that dude lives to do the absolute wildest shit we can put in front of him.
Right. Now, do you jump in that?
Do what?
Do you jump on that board?
He'll do anything. He does not care. And so, I mean, when you have guys like that around you, it's kind of, I mean, I'm sure Scotty and Tim probably understand. Like when you're with a bunch of guys that are like you, probably alphas, and one of them does something stupid, you're like, all right, well now I've got to do something stupider.
Yep.
It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. That's how Steve ended up in the attic of Madison in a straitjacket tied to a wheelchair.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, while sometimes I do feel that way, I've kind of had all my hold my beer moments. So so I try to limit those these days. I'm like, I'm not very old. It's just my body is very old because of all the things I put it through when I was younger.
Yeah, I get that.
9 years of football and being in the Navy and having to climb up this and go up that and then just the stupid stuff I did as a kid.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, my body hurts just because I was a preschool teacher for 18 years. So sitting in small chairs that aren't really meant for adults and being on the floor and crawling around. Yeah, that's not fun. But hey.
I seen that look, Tim. I know what you was going to say. It's Scotty size, though. No, I definitely know.
Actually, I didn't even think that, but thanks.
Yeah, I definitely still do stupid stuff, especially when it's like really hot stuff. I like to try all the new hot candies and the hot bubble gum and all that. Somebody gets a taser and they're like, "Oh, I want to try this one day." I'm like, "Okay, let's try it now. You can tase me with it." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just do it, man."
Yeah, then you got kicked off of Facebook for a couple days.
Yeah, I let my aunt tase me twice with her new taser, and they Facebook kicked me off Facebook for a while. So
now we're gonna freeze up.
So yeah, I'm still that little stupid guy that goes, "Hey, let's try this." Yeah. That's
so. What was your worst experience as a paranormal investigator?
I'm gonna have to go with my best and worst is Waverly. So, and I know Linda had asked this about what happened. We were on a live broadcast down in lobby where that something dark was really there. Like I said, I'd never been attacked by anything, never felt anything. And everybody went out. It was me and my son, Aiden. And we're sitting there. I'm still asking questions. As a matter of fact, Howard, how you doing, brother? I was actually talking to Howard during all this. And all of a sudden, I got this massive headache, like something had hit me. And all of a sudden, I got extremely sick to my stomach. And I'm like, I've got to get out of this room. There's something going on. I walked outside and just puked everywhere by these cars. And I actually had a security guard come up and go, "Dude, you all right?" Because he thought I was trying to break into the cars. I'm like, "No, dude, I'm puking." Okay. And so that was kind of hard for me because I'd never experienced anything like that before. And I wasn't provoking, wasn't doing anything. It was just a spirit box session. It was saying some words I can't remember. I'm sure Howard can. And it just all of a sudden, I mean, it come over me, and I had to leave the whole building.
Oh wow! See, yeah, I knew. I mean, that must have been the second day when we weren't there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That was the second night. So, yep.
Okay, because I was like, I don't remember you puking when I was there. Because
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you and I both had experiences like that the second night because I got lightheaded, dizzy, felt like the back of my head was going to explode.
Wow.
And I was in Williams area.
Right.
Huh.
But it was while I was on a live, and Crystal finally came back with the battery pack, and I'm like, here, I got to get out of here for a little bit.
So that was probably my worst one.
I'm sorry. I'm reading Amanda Lewis's comment about Carrie. Sorry,
Oh,
Carrie.
and Howard Petrie, to answer that question, Howard Petrie, it's called a Scotty.
Carrie, Amanda said she don't know about your worst experience, but she felt scared a couple of different nights after investigating with you due to her snoring. Sound like a bear in a room.
All right, smart ass. Okay, I'm a snorer. I admit it.
Who
Shit, why
doesn't?
don't you ask Keith Campbell about snoring?
I was gonna say, who doesn't snore? Like, if you still have your tonsils, you're snoring. I'm sorry.
Keith
I don't
Campbell
have my
doesn't snore
tonsils
either.
Yeah, I think we all snore. I'm sorry, but everybody snores. You could be the quietest snorer, and I'll still hear you. Carrie,
Okay,
what
I
was
have
your
a question,
experience?
Holly.
Yes. Yes.
I have a question for them.
Okay.
Residentials, if you've ever done any, have you ever been on one that absolutely blew your mind?
I'm gonna take myself out of this question because every residential we did ended up being just a crazy person. So
Well, yeah, there is that too. That does happen.
I've had a few that were really. I actually prefer to do residentials. It's like my favorite thing to do. And yeah, you've got to sort out the crazies. But I feel like sometimes these bigger places that have investigators in them every night of the week, I feel like sometimes that those places, the ghosts are just, the spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them, are just sick and tired of hearing the same stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes they just shut up because they don't want to participate anymore. They want to rest.
And we were actually talking about that at Old Licking when we were me and a couple of the ladies on my team. We were investigating. And I said, you know what? Because they had a Jeff Fent box, and the times that it was actually speaking to us was when we were just talking to each other, having a normal conversation. The times I asked a question to the spirits, it totally went dead silent, and they wouldn't answer us. And I'm like, they just want to be involved in our conversation, so let's just talk, And that's what we did. We just talked. We didn't like sit there and ask. Like, I mean, we did a little bit, but not a whole lot. But I think sometimes they just want to feel human again. I don't know.
Right. I've done residentials, and I've never been to one that's blown my mind. I've had some that's had pretty decent experiences, like, great interaction with knocking. You ask them to knock, and you literally hear the knock. But I've never been to one where I went, man, this has been amazing. This happened, that happened. So unfortunately, but hopefully one day that will come. Hopefully I don't run out of the house like a screaming little girl in a tutu.
What about you, Carrie? Because since you asked the question, have you been at one that's been blowing your mind?
I think there's this one that was in New York, and I got jumped by spirit. Another person got jumped by spirit, and I was also told I only needed to cross over like 4 spirits, and there was like hundreds. I mean, it was so overwhelming, and it was very active, and it was intense.
Right.
It really was.
Now, Casey, you don't like residentials?
No.
Well, for the reason he said, and that's true. I mean, how often are you going to really get a good one, or even one that's real, a real haunting?
Well, in all truth and honesty, though,
their medicine cabinet, or they're just nuts.
In all truth and honesty, I love doing residentials even when they don't catch any evidence. Because if I can go in there and make that homeowner feel at ease and put their mind to rest, then that's the whole reason why I love doing this so much. I love the science behind it. I love the tech. I love all that stuff. But on the same hand, if I can ease somebody's mind and make them feel comfortable in their own home, then that's what I love about doing it.
Yeah, because
Right.
sometimes
Yeah,
that's really all you need to do is cleanse it, tell them how to take their house back, even if you know there's nothing there, but they believe you that there is because they think there is, and yeah, you really
Yeah,
help families, right?
we have residential this Saturday. Scott and I do.
I do too, and Sunday.
Yeah, we just have Saturday. I'll be out hunting all day Sunday and Monday. It's deer season in Indiana.
So your wife's gonna be a widow. Yay!
She's just gonna. She comes with us sometimes.
I've never
Yeah,
hunted.
you need a dog to scare the animals out. I'm just saying. She's not listening, is she?
No, she's probably watching back in the bedroom. Actually,
Just want to make sure.
no, she'll go out there.
That.
She'll go out there and sit all covered up with us and watch for them deer to come through.
Yeah, I haven't done really any like too many residential, so I can't really speak. I think I've done like two, where I've actually had. I was invited to go on one, and then the other one I invited Detroit Rock City because I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm like, come on, can someone come help me and teach me?
Yeah, I'm
because
always glad when I hear you're going because I haven't been able to go to much for Detroit Rock City, and I was always happy when I heard you were stepping in. It's like yes,
yeah,
So
I love that.
The one that we're doing this Saturday. The girl is getting she has a home security system and she works 12-hour days. And during a 12-hour shift at work, she's getting between 25 and 30 notifications on her phone of things moving in her home while she's not there. And she's got to the point where she's so terrified of it that she's wanting to stay in hotels and stay with friends and not stay in her own home.
Okay, so let me ask you, I'm going to ask all of you guys this, changing the subject just slightly. But you're mentioning how like they're moving stuff. So, I've had this conversation with someone. Now, we all think of poltergeist activity, like a lot of people think poltergeist activity is negative, which it really isn't. It's just a spirit moving something. But we think when we see something move across so fast across the room, we think, oh my gosh, that's negative, whatever. But think about how much energy they'd have to use in order to move one tiny thing. The strength that they have to muster up to make that move. It's gonna fly across the room.
Well, the interesting part about this residential is it sits dead in between the original fort from Fort Wayne and the Kikianga tribal grounds.
Mm.
So it's dead in between the fort and the native land.
So
I'm not sure exactly what we're going to run into on this one, but we're going to come prepared for everything. So
absolutely.
So it's by the old fort.
Please don't let it be a Wendigo.
By the old fort.
It's dead in between.
Okay.
If you drew a line from the old fort down to the Kikianga grounds, it's almost right in between the two. And the fort was built to combat the natives for the War of 1812.
Now, have you, because we know Tim has been like messed with and had things move on him, but have any of you guys seen anything like personally move on you? Like while you're investigating?
I haven't. I haven't seen it. I heard. So, on the very first team I was with, Ghost with Bart Berry and Chris Daniel. Bart Berry and I were doing a residential, and we were in the basement. And we're on one side, just Bart and I talking, doing EVP session. And on the other side, we had noticed when we went down, there was a bird cage with the hanger, with the hook sitting there. And we were just sitting there asking questions. And out of nowhere, this thing falls over, and it sounded like something had picked up a rock, chucked it, and hit it, and knocked it over. So I didn't see it happen. We tried to debunk on how it maybe was overweight or this and that, but we could not debunk what happened.
Well, try
I can't say
walking
it was
in a kitchen and
paranormal,
it's
but
actually raining in a kitchen. It's raining. And it's like that can't happen, but I've seen it happen. And what do you do? Second time I saw it, I just turned around and walked off, said, whatever.
What about you, Casey? Have you? I mean, you've probably spent more time in one place because you're filming, right?
Yeah, when we go somewhere, we usually do anywhere between 3 and 5 days, regardless of where we're at.
So, have you seen things move while you're filming? And like,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen doors and people's clothes, necklaces, stuff come up. I mean,
anything
honestly,
like
it's like,
majorly like powerful move?
I mean, I think that it probably takes a ton of energy, but the weird thing about the paranormal is none of us know where they get the energy from, whether it's equipment or the energy people bring, whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not one to answer questions that don't have an answer, but I think that realistically, whatever they want to do, they'll do, and if they don't want to do it, they won't. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had any like experiences like that in the buildings I've been into. But my former home that I just moved from, I definitely had experiences there where my children's toys would go off at 2:30 in the morning in the basement. And I'd go to the top of the stairs and say, stop playing with the toys. And immediately they'd all stop. To where my kitchen stove you'd hear the clicking sound of the gas being turned on and nobody's standing there. So I'd have to tell them to stop trying to cook with the stove. But the most memorable experience I had was in the basement when I was watching Son of Anarchy, and I probably told this story, but I kept hearing music playing. I was like, "What the heck?" And it was about 2:30 in the morning, of course. I searched the basement and finally found what it was. It was my kid's little porta swing that I hadn't used in years. The lights were going off, the music was playing. It was in the off position and there was no batteries in it. So you tell me how that went off. And I had it on recording, but it was on an old phone, and of course that phone is dead. So
we had a toy right here in our house that did the same thing after we took the batteries out, that would go off.
Yeah.
On its own. Because I would jump up and run back to my son's room and be like, I'm going to whoop his butt for being up.
Right.
And I would run back there and he'd be sound asleep and this toy just going off all by itself.
Yeah, it amazes me. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I wasn't never scared though. I haven't been scared.
This clock right here, that has been in my family for generations. I'm the third person in my family to have it. It was my grandmother's. And that I know of, I think it may have been her mom's before her. As you can see, it's got the wrong time on it. You can wind it. You can start it. It won't go. It doesn't move. But every so often, it'll chime on its own. It's one of those old clocks that would chime out the hour and the half hour.
Yep.
Right.
And every once in a while, it'll just start chiming.
That's cool. Now, have you guys ever had any like spirits follow you home?
Yes.
yes.
So everybody. So we've all had that experience. Yay. Because I've actually, it's funny because the one place I will say, and I love it and I can't wait to go back, is Hinsdale. Hinsdale made me mean. Sorry, Daniel. It made me mean. There was a spirit there that really liked me, I guess, and he came home with me. And it didn't dawn on me until the Thursday later, but finally got him to go back. I sent him back to where he was. But I was
Crystal and I have sage. What are those? Smudge sticks. We've got camphor. We've got
Holy water.
Holy water. We've got all that, and we don't go on an investigation without it. After we had something call us home.
I do have my stuff too, but we got there, and Billy, who was a wonderful person, was so excited that Ace came, and because she loves Ace, and we immediately went in the house, and I didn't do my ritual. I didn't do my grounding or anything that I usually do for protection, and yeah. And she actually looked at me. Billy looked at me and goes, "I'm worried about you." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "I'm just worried about you." And then she told me later, and I was like, "Well, thanks." Because it happened.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to leave the group because I can barely hear anything you're saying.
Okay, that's fine, Carrie. We have
I've
15
walked
minutes
around the
anyway.
house trying to find a spot and can't find one.
That's
All right,
okay.
thank you, Carrie.
All right.
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you guys.
It was
Bye,
great to
Carrie.
meet you too. Well, everybody got bigger.
Yeah.
Right? But did I get taller?
No.
A little bit, Scott, just a little.
But yeah, so tell me about your experience, Casey, is that you brought somebody home with you, because you said yes too.
Yeah, we just did some more stupid stuff, and like I said, we don't do any protection or cleansing afterwards. And
How did you realize you brought something home with you?
so I woke up and it was standing over me.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
that's how.
scary.
Oh, I guess there's something here. Huh?
yeah, just kind of let it do its thing, and then ignored it, and just kind of either I got used to it or.
Did you
I don't
send it packing?
Yeah, I've got haunted shit all over my walls, and I don't ever get any weird feelings or anything. So
Oh, so you're one of those haunted collectors?
I mean, kind of. I just kind of pick up stuff. Like I got bricks from buildings, and pieces of wood from the buildings. I got behind me right there. I've got a legitimate exorcist kit.
Oh,
Pretty awesome, man.
Holy water and stuff.
I've seen those at like the Curiosity and what is it? Oddities and Curiosity show. I was like, I'll leave those right there.
I've got that. I've got a whole bunch of like
Ouija
boards and serial killer stuff everywhere. So I mean, I'm like the perfect target for anything that wants it. But
Right.
I would love to have one of those old vampire hunter boxes.
Oh, that would be cool.
I found a couple of them, but they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pricey.
I saw some of those at the Odyssey show too, and they were like over 500,000. I'm like, oh, you can keep them. But I thought it would be cool too, because the way he had them all displayed, I was like, that's badass.
Well, I know Scotty and Holly probably know why I say that, but
Well, you did because you love vampires, and you're
no,
you did that.
I don't. I'm a big Vlad the Impaler fan.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
think of, I would not even be able to pronounce his name properly, but I knew who you were talking about because you did a whole show on him.
Yeah.
Hi, Valerie. Hi, Bob
Hi, Valerie. Hi, Bob.
and Linda.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
There was a question here earlier. I wanted to. Somebody asked. Now I gotta find it. I apologize if you're not watching any longer. I don't. It's hard to tell who's still watching, unless they
Right.
comment all the time. I don't know where it was. You might have answered it. I don't know. Okay, I can't find it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I got to tell you my story about the
Oh,
crocodile.
yeah.
pit.
Yes, please do. Tell us because we have 10 minutes left.
So I've got like a super irrational fear that sewers have alligators in them. Like
Oh, yeah.
super irrational. Like obviously, especially not like in Tennessee, there's definitely not an alligator in the sewer. So we were at Hellsbar Dam summer, and we got there like 9 a.m. and we were drinking beers out by the lake and stuff. And everybody walked back to get ready to eat so we could go investigate. And then I was walking back and I stepped onto a sewer cap, and the sewer cap fell in.
Oh,
That's
And I
my worst fear.
And I started going in, and I caught the side of my side and held on. And I was all right. But then, like, in my head, I freaked out because I was like, there's definitely a fucking alligator in here. And I pretty much just jumped straight out of that hole, tore my legs up real good, and just poured a bunch of beer on it and went to doing what I was doing.
Oh my God, that is my worst fear, like absolute worst fear. I tell my kids all the time, you could ask my son right now, I will yell at them if they walk across the top of a sewer cap because I'm like, you don't know if they ever will fall in, and there you go.
She gets
They will.
scared.
You can hear him. He's like,
She starts crying.
I don't cry. Stop it. Shh.
Oh, I'm
Be
sure
quiet
you
in the
cry.
background. No, but I yell. I definitely yell. I'm like, get off the sewer cap. Like, don't ever walk on a sewer cap. Like, that's definitely a worse fear. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I might have been, I might have laughed if I was actually watching you do it. Apologize if I would have. But
Right?
The shitty part was no one saw me do it. They were all over there. And then luckily someone was walking by as I was hanging out of a sewer, and I was like, hey, I fell in.
oh my
So-
God, they would have been like, they're like, where did Casey go? Like,
I literally walked up to him, and my legs were like bleeding, and my legs were all bruised up from hitting the side, and like nobody even questioned it. They all started laughing because apparently they know like the side effects of falling in a sewer.
Amanda probably would have pulled out her phone and start recording. Like, yeah, I'll help you, but I'm getting this on camera first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she did. So thanks.
oh my goodness. I'm
See, for
sorry this happened
me-
to you.
For me, I worked in excavating for a long time, so I put a lot of sewer pipe in, a lot of different things, and I used to have to climb down in that kind of stuff all the time. So it never really bothered me a whole lot.
Hi,
But
Matt Warner.
falling in one would bother me just because I know how tight it is, and I'm a bigger guy, and that's going to tear me up.
So you put the alligators in the sewer, don't you?
No,
You're supposed to say yes.
It won't
You know,
surprise me.
I went to New Orleans last year, and never even saw an alligator.
Bless you.
The only alligators I've ever seen were in Florida.
I want to go to Louisiana. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Although I
used to
did
watch
hear, like, it's been a while back, but Scott will remember the Wabash River runs right through our town, and
Through
someone
my-
had turned
my
a
Andrews.
alligator loose in the Wabash River.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I saw that on the news because
Yep,
I think that's
sure
happened
did.
here in Michigan too, where they get pets and then they let them go because they get too big. But do you ever watch those Swamp People? Have you ever seen that show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, those
No.
people are strong as hell. Okay, well, look up Swamp People there, Scotty, because that's
Alrighty.
just crazy what they do. I
I
know
don't watch
Casey.
a whole lot of
Casey won't,
TV, so
Casey won't be going on Swamp People anytime soon.
right.
I mean, no, I got no problem shooting an alligator.
No, but they catch them, drag
Shoot
them
at.
in, and then shoot them.
Yeah, that's because they're stupid. They're doing old times. You can shoot an alligator from like half a mile away and just go pick it up when it gets done rolling.
Right.
Did you see Casey? Did you see Matt's comment to you?
Yeah, I'm playing hard to get with him.
There you go.
I should say hi, Matt and Aaron, because I'm pretty sure Aaron's probably watching with him.
They're actually at a rehearsal dinner right now for one of his buddies getting married.
Oh, that's right. He did post the picture. Why are you
Yeah.
watching, Matt, if you're at a rehearsal dinner? Thank you
gotta
for
come pick
watching.
on- he's got to come pick on me.
I know, right?
He's actually, with him being the oldest guy in our group, like he's kind of really like a good dad figure to us.
He's the oldest in the group.
He goes to bed earliest, so yeah. No joke. Like we were inside College Hill Hospital, and it was me and him and a couple other people upstairs on the third floor. And there's like a little stair set next to me, and Warner's sitting there, and like it's kind of dead at that time. And he looks at me, and I'll try to do my Warner accent. And he looks at me and he goes, "Damn kid, it's fucking wicked boring in here." And I was like, "I don't know
I
what to
love
tell you,
his
buddy."
accent.
Yeah, and then, no joke. In the middle of the investigation, Warner just lays down and goes to sleep on the stair set.
That's okay, because that old licking, I was up from 4:45 in the morning because I had to go work out in the morning before work. Went to work, left work, drove 4 hours there, By the time I got out, I actually laid on the cement, and they're like, "Are you going to sleep?" I said, "No, I'm really dizzy. I have to lay down here for a minute." Literally laid on the cement, and they're like, "Are you grounding?" I'm like, "Nope, just laying here. Need a few minutes." Laid on the cement. I think I was just so tired that I started getting dizzy. By 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I sat in a chair and I was out for about 20 minutes. Yep. Needed
Yeah,
a power nap. Then I finished. Then when I got up, went and investigated some more.
Yeah, I'm
until they kicked
one
us
of
out.
the old guys. I'm one of the old guys on the team besides Michael and Scott. And yeah, 9 o'clock is my bedtime. So yeah, I'm an old guy. I got to get my sleep. So
You gotta get
like if we're doing it, yeah,
your hottie.
10 o'clock I'm going. But I've seen Michael Creek. I've seen Michael Creek fall asleep. He did it at Randolph when we went there.
Where was the
out there,
place Jeremy went last year, and he had the whole place all to himself?
He fell asleep at Waverly.
No, well, Jeremy last year, he had this whole building all to himself. He went all the way halfway across the country, set up all of his equipment, ended up falling asleep, and slept the entire time he was supposed to be investigating this whole building.
The Warsaw Club.
I tell you what, though, we slept.
Yeah, that's it.
We spent a week at Randolph County Infirmary, and ended up staying there. So the day we got there was kind of like rainy or whatever. The next day, it had a blizzard. So like there's a room by the only bathroom upstairs.
Yep.
Dude, we put a little space heater in there, closed the door, and by the time I went to bed, it was like 75 in there.
Well, I just saw somebody post like these thermals that heat up. I'm like, dude, that's every paranormal's dream right there. We need to get all those. We can investigate all year long. Then we'd be nice and toasty warm.
But yeah, so we shot our second documentary at Randolph, and that was the first time I think we spent an extended amount of time in a location. And I think it was the first time we were like, all right, so if we're gonna do this, we gotta do at least a week from now on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, Michael fell asleep there in the one room where there's like a big white fireplace, and he had a chair in there, and everybody's like, "Where's Michael? Where?" And we walked in there, and he's like this. He's like, "Oh, there's Michael."
He was out.
I don't even think he started to investigate.
He did after everybody left.
Blake says you guys cuddle. I'm pretty sure Casey and Matt cuddle too, you know.
Look, Steve Brott's in the middle, and we just surround him.
You making
Are you
a
gonna-
sandwich?
Yeah, Blake's gonna find out Saturday just how much I like to cuddle.
Oh, they make electric coats. Yeah. Oh, Linda says it's so nice to hear friends chatting. The tone on your show, Holly, has always been pretty even and that's soothing. Oh, thank you very much. You know what? I tell every one of my guests, I try to make it like we're just chatting across, the phone.
Absolutely.
I don't write down questions ahead of time. I don't do that. I just like we're having fun, have a conversation because I like having fun, And I think we have more fun at investigations and we get more evidence when you do have fun and you're not all serious all the time,
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys probably do that. I'm sure Casey and Matt play jokes on each other. And I know Tim and Scott do.
We do wild stuff.
I like to scare Crystal. I ain't gonna lie. We're on an investigation. I will find a place to hide and I will scare Crystal.
I know you tried scaring us at Waverly too, and it didn't work.
Don't worry, it will happen.
Except when you tried to hump my leg.
So
no, actually, no. You didn't try to hump me. You crop dusted me. That's what you did.
Yep, that I did do.
Me.
Yep, that I did.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they play jokes on everybody. But all right, so we have 1 minute left. I want to thank you guys for your service again. Thank you for joining me tonight on the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you all. It was nice to see some new faces on here as well. So thank you. I think Casey probably brought some of them with him. So thank you. Thank you, Matt Foley, Scott Harvey, Amanda Lewis, Chrissy, Blake, all you guys. Thank you, Linda, for everybody for watching. Next week we have Angela Rivera and Christina Beasley from Bad to the Bone. So, and then after that, I will be gone for the rest of December because my son is graduating from the Army, and I will be going to watch him graduate. So, yay! Can't wait.
Yay.
So, thank you everybody for tuning
Thank
in,
you.
and you guys have a great holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
All right.